Art was a boy who once lived like Elon Musk in this alternate dimension, but now wanted nothing more than to be treated like a normal human. He thought if people saw him fail or lose, maybe they'd finally see he was just like them, but deep down he still carried that strange confidence that he was the strongest one around. Far away, another man named Demand stared at a fallen girl and quietly hoped his next life would turn out differently. The story then moved to a warm little house where a family celebrated their son's 10th birthday. His parents were proud of their children. One was clever and kind, the other strong and full of energy. The boy, Art, had been training hard, growing fast, and learning martial arts. His parents told him to dream big and live bravely. Art nodded, but secretly wished he could find someone who didn't fear him. When he saw the neighborhood kids playing, he thought about how everyone used to be terrified of him when he was Dimple. Now he wanted a normal life, but as soon as he approached, the kids scattered. Maybe it was his strange aura again. Hiding near some girls, he tried to calm himself, but his nerves got the best of him. He stumbled and blurted out something silly about sharing half the world, and the girls ran off screaming. Embarrassed, he clenched his fists, nearly letting his powers slip before stopping himself. An old man spotted him sulking and told him that making friends wasn't hard. Just talk kindly. Art got fired up and rushed off before the man could finish. He tried being polite to everyone, but his awkwardness made things worse. People still avoided him, and even the girls walked away before he could finish a sentence. Sitting alone under a tree, he felt that dark urge again, the thought of destroying everything, but a sudden monster attack distracted him. He burned the creature down and felt his anger fade. Then he heard a girl shouting nearby. She was fiery, confident, and threw magic at him that didn't even scratch him. Her name was Ariana, the mayor's daughter. Art admired her boldness, but she brushed him off. Even so, he kept trying, greeting her daily, offering gifts, always polite. Ariana refused him every time. One day, monsters attacked the town, and Ariana disappeared. Feeling guilty, Art flew out and rescued her from goblins. When she said he couldn't understand her loneliness, he told her he did. She warned he'd betray her someday, but he promised he wouldn't. Finally, Ariana smiled and took his hand. They became friends and lived peacefully afterward. One bright morning, Art woke up to Ariana beside him, laughing and saying it was time for the music academy. Inside Learn Magic Academy, the headmaster welcomes two promising students, Art and Irina, both connected to the three great heroes. He seems genuinely impressed and praises their skills. Irina, full of confidence, feels proud that entering this academy was a piece of cake. Art, on the other hand, stays quiet, still wondering why he's being treated like someone important. He knows Irina is the Baron's daughter, but he can't figure out what makes him special. The headmaster mentions their bravery during the Reborn attack and how they took down many demons together. Art remembers how easy that battle was and how they agreed to share the credit just to keep things fair. The headmaster then surprises them by saying they can skip the exam and move straight into the senior division, though they'll have to pay heavy interest later. Art takes that as a challenge and gets motivated to prove his worth. The headmaster adds a strange comment about how even a lion uses full strength to catch a rabbit, leaving Art unsure who the real lion in the room is. Later, all the students gather around the results board. Irina finds her name easily and cheers at passing. Art, however, can't spot his name and starts to feel uneasy. When Irina finally points it out, he's stunned to see 0 marks next to it. Before he can process anything, the headmaster shows up again, congratulating both of them. Art tries to explain that he failed, but the headmaster says his answers were wrong only because his knowledge went far beyond the test. He reveals that Art's unique way of amplifying energy for advanced spells is something even senior mages struggle to do. Art stays silent as the headmaster goes further, saying his father was none other than the legendary hero Gray, the man who saved the capital during the war. Someone secretly eavesdrops outside, hearing it all. Later, Irina admits she already knew their parents fought together against the Demon King. Art feels shaken, realizing his bloodline carries more weight than he ever imagined. In class, everyone suddenly wants to be friends, mostly because of their parents' fame. Irina gets surrounded by admirers, while a few jealous students glare at Art, assuming he bribed his way in. When a bully mocks a poor girl named Ginny, Irina steps in, but he insults her too. Art intervenes and the boy challenges him to a duel. Olivia, a war general, allows it. Art fights calmly, blocks spells without chanting, and wins easily with double casting. Olivia praises his rare skill. The next day, Olivia announces field training, forming teams of 3. While many students want Art, Irina suggests teaming up with Ginny. Their mission is to defeat a black beast and bring back its hide. They battle smaller monsters first, with Art teaching Ginny his script magic, a system that draws energy from the surroundings. Ginny learns quickly and defeats one beast herself, but soon they fall into a pit where a massive monster waits. Art fights fiercely while encouraging Ginny to face her fear. With new confidence, she delivers the final blow. Exhausted but proud, Ginny realizes she's finally stopped running from fear. The Academy's buzzing with hype as they gear up for a huge student battle event, and even the Queen's coming to watch. Everyone's hyped because whoever shines could bring fame and fat funding to the place. The headmaster and Olivia keep pushing Art to join, saying his talent alone could win them the Queen's favor. But Art's not into the whole show-off game, saying magic should be for helping people, not flexing for rewards. Olivia grabs his face, tells him he reminds her of her brother who reincarnated without warning, and says maybe Art doesn't even know his real ideals yet. Art walks off, saying he needs time to think, while the headmaster grins, already sure the kid will cave. Outside, Art starts overthinking everything. If he skips the event, he could lose his scholarship, maybe even get kicked out. He'd miss out on field trips with Irina, and that thought hits hard. So he decides to join, even if it's risky. Just then, Ginny shows up and randomly asks him on a date. Art freezes, thinking dates are only for couples, but her smile breaks him, and he says yes. Irina overhears, instantly wanting in too. Ginny's chill about it, which only makes Irina more jealous. Ginny jokes about him having a harem, and Irina nearly explodes. Next day, both girls get all dressed up. Ginny looks great, Art says it straight, and off they go to a theater. The play reminds Art of scenes from his past life, messing with his head a bit. During the romantic parts, Ginny grabs his hand, and Irina's jealousy hits max level. After the show, Ginny drags them somewhere shady, saying it's better than dinner. They stumble on some creeps plotting something dark underground. Art's had enough. He apologizes for ending the date early, then leads the charge. The girls join him, no hesitation. They crash through a manhole, find a massive magic circle, and get spotted. Art stays calm, drops his lightning magic, and blows through enemies like nothing. The boss tries to flee, but Art catches him midair and ends it in one hit. Everyone's stunned. The Queen later promotes him to Pentagon Mage, boosts the Academy's budget, and puts Irina and Ginny on his squad. The crowd cheers him like a hero, but a few whisper that something's off about him, and maybe one of those girls beside him isn't as innocent as she looks. Art's day starts off weird when a girl straight up confesses to him, saying she likes him and wants to date. Art, being his usual polite self, turns her down gently, saying he's got other stuff to focus on. After she walks away, he sighs, wondering why this kind of thing keeps happening. The girl laughs it off, saying she'll just have to try harder since he's single and soft-hearted. But before she can make a move, Irina pops up looking furious. The girl bails instantly. Art thanks Irina, but she storms off, leaving him totally lost about what he did wrong. Meanwhile, the teachers are in the headmaster's office, gossiping about how Art refused to join the Academy's battle event. The headmaster says the nobles still look down on Art since he's not from a noble family. He believes if Art performs well, no one will dare question him again. A female teacher named Jessica offers to handle things, which definitely sounds shady. That night, Art lies awake thinking he needs to fix things with Irina. Then Ginny shows up wearing a cute new dress, asking how she looks. Art says she looks great, and she admits she's nervous seeing him become more popular, but still wants to stay the closest to him. At the same time, Irina regrets snapping at Art and goes to apologize, only to find Ginny already there. Instant jealousy. Ginny teases her about acting childish, and the two start bickering about who Art likes more. Art finally steps in, scolding both and making them apologize. Just then, Professor Jessica shows up, smiling sweetly and suggesting the girls join the upcoming battle event to support Art. Art doesn't like it, saying magic isn't for showing off, but both girls agree anyway. When the day comes, the arena's roaring with cheers. Irina crushes her opponent, and Ginny dominates hers. But just before their final match, chaos hits. Dark mages storm the arena, blowing everything apart. Students panic while the professors fight back. Irina and Ginny jump in to protect everyone, fighting side by side. When a demon nearly hits Ginny, Irina blocks it and saves her. Then, out of nowhere, a crystal mage appears and attacks. Baron, Irina's father, arrives like a boss and destroys the monster, but in the next second, Professor Jessica stabs him in the back. Everyone freezes. Jessica drops the act, laughing as she reveals she's been a traitor all along. Ginny attacks in rage but gets wrecked fast. Irina, trembling but brave, tells Jessica to take her instead and leave Ginny alone. Jessica smiles coldly, grabs Irina, and vanishes into thin air, leaving Ginny on the ground, crying and powerless to stop her. Art's lying on the ground all bruised up while Arzu keeps healing him non-stop with magic, tears almost in her eyes. Everyone's panicking after finding out Irina's been kidnapped. Not by some random thug, but by the freaking king of dragon lizards, a monster so old and deadly it nearly ended the world once. The headmaster shows up pale as a ghost, saying that thing was supposed to be extinct. Art just clenches his fists and says he's going after her, no matter what. The headmaster tries to stop him, saying no human can win against that beast, but Art ain't backing down. He says impossible things are just his warm-ups. Baron then tells everyone Irina's story, how she grew up lonely, hiding her family's secret, scared that if anyone found out, they'd hate her, especially Article. Flashback hits. Little Irina, asking if Art would always stay her friend. He promised he'd never hate or betray her. That memory fades as Irina wakes up chained inside a dark cave. Then this creepy woman, Ms. Word, shows up, talking like she owns the world. She says she needs Irina's blood for an ancient ritual to bring back a cursed power that'll erase love and kindness forever. Irina spits back that Art will stop her, but Ms. Word laughs, saying Art will turn on her once he knows her secret. Meanwhile, Art suits up in fresh armor, ready to go full beast mode. Ginny begs to tag along, but Art tells her to stay and help make dinner because Irina will be hungry when she gets back. Then boom, Art crashes into the cave, slices the monster like it's paper and grabs Irina. She bursts into tears and hugs him tight. Ms. Word reappears, revealing Irina's real name, Lovelace, a descendant of the cursed Cord bloodline. Everyone else freaks out about political collapse, but Art just shrugs it off. He says he doesn't care what blood she has. She's still Irina, his brave, kind friend. Ms. Word unleashes chaos, but Art fights back hard, channeling his past pain and magic until a golden spirit named Media appears, boosting him even higher. Together, they vaporize Ms. Word in one glorious blast. Before fading, she curses them, saying their friendship will rot and Irina will betray him. Irina trembles, but Art smiles, saying they'll prove her wrong. As they walk out of the cave, battered but together, Art tells her it's time to go home for dinner. Irina quietly swears to get stronger, not just for him, but to stand beside him, no matter what curse tries to break them. A young girl shows off her power as she takes down a giant monster like it is nothing. Feeling proud, she says she is finally strong enough to help her sister, Media. After training for years, she decides to go back to her home village, but when she reaches the city after what she thought were 3 years, she finds everything completely different. The streets look new, the air feels strange, and she cannot understand what happened to the world after the war between the gods. Then, a man appears with a cheerful smile. It's her old friend Zeju. He tells her she has been gone not 3 years, but 3,000, because time moved differently in the world she trained in. She freezes in disbelief, realizing how much she has missed. As they walk, Zeju reminds her they were once comrades. She worked under Media, and he served Big Boss. When she asks about Toss, he tells her Toss died long ago, but was reborn as someone named Art, now living quietly. If she wants to know about Media, she needs to connect to the main server. The news makes her furious, knowing history has been rewritten while she was away. Meanwhile, at the academy, everyone is busy planning a school festival to attract guests from all over. The principal wants it grand, though Jin jokes that it's just for money. Art, Rina, and Jin decide to perform in a play, but things turn dark when the principal hands Art a creepy letter written on human skin, a threat from a group planning to destroy the event. Art agrees to help guard the festival so no one gets hurt. Soon after, Cersei bursts in, furious and searching for Art. Olivia teases her for being the same as ever. Cersei accuses Art of being the reincarnation of Demon, shocking everyone. Art denies knowing anything, but Cersei keeps pushing, forcing a duel. Rina steps up to defend him, and their fight shakes the whole place. Both give their all, and Art steps in to protect everyone when Cersei's power grows too wild. After her defeat, Cersei breaks down, and Rina comforts her, reminding her that strength means nothing if it hurts others. Peace returns as everyone prepares for the festival with laughter and teamwork. But far away, a shadowy man watches through a crystal, smirking that Art's peaceful days won't last once Cersei learns the truth. Art, Irina and their friends spent the day patrolling the festival grounds, keeping an eye out for anyone planning trouble. The air was filled with laughter, food smells, and bright colors everywhere. Even with all the threats, the festival was going smoothly, and Art felt proud seeing everyone enjoy themselves. Then chaos broke out near a stall. Shilpi stood with her sword pointed at a man, calling him a spy. Art tried to calm her down, but she kept insisting his eyes looked strange. Olivia arrived and quickly explained that the man worked at her favorite restaurant. Shilpi turned red with embarrassment, while Olivia cheerfully started talking about how much she loved the fries there, getting more excited about potatoes than the whole situation. Later, Art and Irina stopped under a huge ancient tree that gave off a strange energy. Art mentioned that the third king buried something powerful beneath it. Irina said even her father didn't know much about it. Olivia joined them, saying she couldn't reveal anything either, but casually added that she'd be joining the fighting tournament. Art teased that she would win easily, but Olivia smirked and said Lard was competing too. Before leaving, she dropped another surprise. She had already signed Art up for the festival play. He tried to refuse, but one sharp look from her made him give up instantly. Elsewhere, Shilpi stopped a street fight between two girls, saving one named Tulsi. Art repaired the damage with magic, while Jin and Herman helped clean up. The group started talking about the upcoming competitions. Edison announced she wouldn't leave Art alone again, and both Irina and Jin decided to enter the magic tournament to prove their strength. The tournament kicked off with roaring cheers. Fighters from famous families stepped into the ring, and Olivia stood out with her powerful yet graceful style. Irina and Jin both won their early rounds easily. During Jin's next match, she got knocked down hard but remembered Art's advice to never give up. She stood back up, fought fiercely, and turned the match around. Afterward, Jin joined the beauty contest and won, surprising everyone. Lard later confessed to Art that he once bullied her because he was jealous, but now admired her strength. Jin finally smiled, saying maybe she could start liking herself. Irina teased her about liking Art, making the group burst into laughter. As the night faded, Irina promised to always stay by Art's side, unaware that far away, a dark figure was already plotting to shatter their peace. At the academy, everyone was busy preparing for the big play. Irina was nervous, pacing around while Nargis kept trying to cheer her up. Jenny told her everything would go perfectly, but that only made her more anxious. The others laughed, saying once she got on stage, she'd be fine. Irina nodded, pretending to relax, but deep down, her stomach was twisting. When the curtains finally opened, she stepped out and delivered her lines flawlessly. Selphie played her role as the goddess perfectly too, and soon the crowd roared as a massive battle scene unfolded. Swords clashed, explosions flashed, and the audience loved every second. After the show, Selphie felt embarrassed but happy, remembering the real battles she fought long ago with media. Back then, she had made a plan that caused explosions all over the field. It was supposed to help them win, but the traps ended up injuring their own soldiers. Ross had scolded her, calling her careless, and even Chanakya told her to take responsibility. She got defensive, blaming everyone else, until Irina stepped in and reminded her that nobody died and she didn't need to carry all the guilt alone. Selphie apologized, realizing how kind her friends truly were. When the play ended, the applause was loud and cheerful. Jenny noticed how, even when Selphie forgot her lines, everyone jumped in to help her. Selphie smiled softly, realizing people didn't judge her. They cared. Later, as preparations for the final tournament began, the group noticed she had disappeared. It turned out she had followed a man who told her something shocking, that Arivart was the Oscar incarnation. Irina grew uneasy, sensing something was off, while Jenny guessed Selphie might be acting strange because of her feelings for Ross. When the tournament started, Selphie faced Irina, but during the fight, something changed. Her eyes went cold, and she knocked Irina out instantly. Everyone froze. Later, under the ancient holy tree, Selphie stood alone holding Media's sword, glowing with strange power. Art arrived, and she realized he was the Oscar incarnation the man had warned her about. The sacred tree lit up as she attacked him, her emotions boiling over. The man who deceived her appeared, showing her the memory of Media's death to fuel her rage. Consumed by pain, Selphie struck Art down and cried, feeling completely empty. She tried to destroy everything, but Irina and the others arrived to stop her. Even Ross stood against her, fighting desperately. In the end, Media's spirit appeared, stopping the chaos. She told Ross not to hate anyone and to live freely. Her light faded, leaving Ross holding back tears as peace slowly returned. Inside the carriage, the group was killing time with a card game. Jin kept drawing the driving card again and again, getting madder each time, while Lena laughed and said maybe the card liked her too much. Jin crushed it out of frustration, and Art just sat quietly, thinking she didn't deserve that kind of bad luck, no matter how tough she acted. Then he pulled out 2 old cards, one from the medical college and another of the champion media, and started thinking about how much everything had changed. The stories about the kingdom always made it sound like a dream, but he knew the truth was messier. Then everything froze. The air went still, even time itself stopped. Suddenly, they were sucked into a strange glowing world. A mysterious man appeared, saying Art had been chosen for something important. He called himself a god, not because he wanted to, but because people made him one. He warned Art that someone was trying to destroy the balance of the world, and that meeting a person named Dimonord would decide everything. Before Art could react, the man vanished, and the group found themselves standing under a sky with 2 moons, one that should have been gone for centuries. Art realized they were now in the Belvardia Empire, the land ruled by the Demon Lord. Jin started panicking about how to get home, but Art told her their only goal for now was to survive. Then they saw a man running from monsters, Data Stranger, someone from their world. Art blasted the creatures apart with his magic. Moments later, a woman named Olivia appeared, graceful yet dangerous. She tested them using music magic, knocking Jin and Irina out cold, but Art resisted, surprising her. She brought them to Block City, a massive place full of energy and history where they met Media. Media asked Art to join their army to defend the borders, and though he agreed, he made sure his friends could join too. Instead of fighting, Art decided to work with scholars to study this world, but peace didn't last long. An explosion ripped through the city. A messy-haired girl, Velda, came laughing out of the smoke, calling it a successful experiment. Media stormed in furious and chaos erupted. When she attacked Velda, Art stopped her, forcing a powerful duel. Media realized how strong he really was and told him he belonged on the battlefield. Art refused, saying he fought for purpose, not pride. Velda then told him if he truly wanted to meet Dimonord, he'd have to prove himself first. Jin woke up slowly, still unable to open her eyes fully. Lydia appeared and found Art standing alone, looking out quietly. A cheerful, warm girl walked up to him, saying she was glad to meet him, and that everyone in the mansion could live peacefully because Media had said anyone staying there should be treated as a close friend. When she left, Art repeated those words to himself and thought about how he once had to kill his closest friend with his own hands. Jin's voice broke his thoughts, and Art muttered under his breath that Media was terrible. Later, everyone gathered at the front line. Art told them the place would be safe since it was where the World Army kept all its supplies. He predicted the enemy might attack soon, but said magical reinforcements would protect them. Based on what Leah and Velda had discussed earlier, he figured out that Dimple and the Western Army had started moving, attacking more regions. The war now felt like a fight between local princes, and one of them, Area Prince, had already captured a small fort. Media and Velda had teamed up before and taken down a big part of the enemy force without much trouble. The battle grew intense. The injured were treated, while the dead were kept aside for Velda's experiments. Jin and Rina were assigned to move supplies for the teams. Suddenly, lightning struck and the enemy appeared. A man stepped out laughing, saying he would destroy everything. He started wrecking all their supply lines as part of his war strategy. Art realized his calculations were off, but still felt proud that at least he had made a difference after a long time. Meanwhile, Selphie reached near the fort. Lydia noticed the enemy's arrival, but said their leader hadn't shown up yet. Velda's support army sent word that things were shifting in their favor. Lydia found out the enemy commander was not normal. A powerful special unit suddenly showed up, and even Volgan was defeated easily. Lydia and her team were stunned. Jin, Rina, and others joined in, while Selphie stepped forward, saying the win belonged to them. Karina proudly added that Selphie had taken down the general in a single blow. The media praised her and said the victory brought them closer to meeting Dimonord. The group was invited to the Millennium Council, where everyone celebrated their success. Art quietly thought the council deserved respect, but Selphie said it was nothing compared to the media's power. Jin joked about them meeting Dimonord soon, but Art looked uneasy, thinking the battle had ended too easily. Suddenly, an attack came from nowhere. Art reacted fast and blocked it. A stranger appeared, saying he had only come to show respect, while another man mocked him. Alberto and Dimonord finally appeared face to face. Art sensed danger as they spoke about time and truth. Later, Jin, Rina, and the others talked about how their world actually had 2 versions of reality, meaning history had been changed. Art remembered God's warning about someone twisting the world's balance and realized Dimonord might be involved. He decided to stop whoever was rewriting time, even if it meant fighting Dimonord himself. Jin wondered if that could take them home, but Art said it wouldn't be that simple. Media then called Art to the battlefield, saying it was good he had left Jin and Rina behind because the fight would be deadly. Their next enemy was casting Milibich, one of the strongest demons. Art felt tense since the name reminded him of Media's past. The Media admitted she also felt something bad was coming. Suddenly, skeleton soldiers rose and Jin charged forward, but a huge explosion wiped out the enemy forces instantly. Selphie stepped up proudly, saying she would take down the real demon herself. Art noticed the Media staring at him again, making him uneasy. He decided he wouldn't let things repeat like before. Media called everyone to start the meeting about their demands. The ministers looked uneasy, and some of them began objecting, saying that certain people like Karina and Velda shouldn't be allowed in the room. Media didn't stay quiet and stood up for them, saying they were her guests and had done more than anyone to help in the war. She reminded everyone that these people had changed how they saw demons and had even helped fight against them. The discussion then moved toward their next step, to take down Lemon and his army once and for all. They planned a massive attack that would end everything in a single day. It was decided that all 4 generals would go to the battlefield together, and even Vatos would fight this time, which surprised everyone. Art stayed quiet through most of it, thinking to himself how they could even fight someone who claimed to be immortal. Vatos confidently said they had a secret weapon ready, and declared that the attack would happen in 3 days. Later, Art met Lathama, who was busy searching for Leah. She told him that Media now led one of the strongest armies around. Art reflected on how much everything had changed. He remembered the time he had saved Media and the others before, and the words of the mysterious god echoed in his head about fixing the twisted fate of the world. Suddenly, Dimonord appeared, standing in front of him. He told Art that changing fate wasn't as easy as it sounded, and that Media would soon face her destiny. Art felt something strange about him. Then Dimonord removed his mask and shocked Art completely. He looked exactly like him. Dimonord explained that they were the same person but from different timelines. One of them had lost everything, and the other still had everything left to lose. Dimonord told him that his mistakes had caused the destruction of his own world and the death of Media. After that, he had taken a new name to live with his guilt. He said God had sent him to this world with a mission to destroy it. Art was stunned. Dimonord continued, saying he didn't really want to destroy the world but wanted to save Media, even if it meant ending everything else. He revealed that Media had become a huge danger to the world, and that he had been forced to kill her in his own timeline. The guilt had driven him to take his own life, but fate had brought him back again. Now he just wanted to save her one last time and let her kill him afterward. He asked Art to help him, but Art refused. He remembered Leah's warning not to do anything stupid. Dimonord gave him 3 days to decide before vanishing. After that, Art talked to Lathama about Media, and she said she would do anything for her. Meanwhile, Jin and Selphie were back to arguing again until Media arrived and gave them something small. Selphie joked about wanting a drink instead, and Media agreed. The next day, the big battle began. The battlefield exploded with energy as giant robots, soldiers, and mages clashed with monsters. Media led the attack from the front, showing her full strength. Art watched from above, finding the fight both endless and strange. Every enemy they defeated seemed to rise again, making the war feel never-ending. Media kept pushing forward, wishing Art was there beside her. At the same time, Dimonord appeared again and confronted Art. He asked one last time if Art would help him save Leah. Art said no, and told him that Media wanted to make peace with her past by dying. Dimonord lost control and attacked. The two of them clashed in a massive fight that shook everything around them. Both used all their power, and Dimonord realized that this battle would probably kill them both, but he laughed anyway, saying he had expected it to end like this. Jeannie and Karina had been talking about how Aram had already left and how they couldn't do anything on the battlefield, so they had to stay behind. Jeannie teased that if Karina thought they were losing, she could start preparing a harem of 10,000 girls for Aram. Karina snapped back that she would raise that number and never let Aram belong to anyone else. Then Rotting Hormone appeared, calling them and saying she had something important to tell them. Jeannie and Karina rushed to her, and she revealed that Art had discovered the secret behind Demand's immortality. He wanted them to quietly find the killer of the demon. Karina asked why he hadn't told them directly, and Rotting said he wanted things to happen quietly. Art had found out that Demand had gained immortality through a soul separation technique, where the body and soul were split apart. But the catch was that the person had to stay close to their soul, or else immortality would end. That meant the demon kept his soul nearby, hidden within the council. Jeannie and Karina realized this was their secret mission, to destroy that soul. Suddenly they were attacked, and Rotting got hurt, but told them to go ahead while she handled things. Meanwhile, the battle outside grew intense, with robots and magic clashing everywhere. Art's team tried to rescue souls trapped by the demon, but a hidden trap caught Alina underground. Demand appeared and taunted Art, saying that if he wanted to save the hostages, he had to join him. Demand didn't want to fight his best friend, but wanted Art on his side. Art refused, and the demon pushed him harder, saying that if he hesitated, his army and kingdom would be destroyed. The tension rose as Art's emotions mixed between saving his people and stopping Demand. Somewhere else, Irina used inscription magic that didn't need mana, a trick Art had taught her earlier. The place filled with light as demons were defeated one by one. Lydia showed up, warning them of stronger enemies coming their way. Jeannie and Karina learned about a magic paint that could reveal everything in the area, but before they could use it, Lydia attacked, knocking out, rotting, and killing demons one by one. She said she wanted to create a world where everyone could smile, even if it meant she would disappear afterward. Meanwhile, Demand and Art faced off again. Demand mocked him, saying he had reincarnated only because of him. They both transformed into their true forms and fought fiercely. Demand reminded Art of Media's last words before dying. Lydia stopped a ceasefire plan, furious that they hadn't finished the enemy, but the others said they needed peace to rebuild. Art's heart remained heavy, but he kept moving forward, remembering Lydia's words to never look back at the past. In the end, everyone woke up as if from a dream, realizing they were still alive. The kingdom had turned green, symbolizing peace. Art stood before God, who told him he was impressed with his journey. God said he hoped they would never meet again, and Art felt the same. He saw Lydia's spirit smiling, telling him to keep walking forward. He smiled back and took his next step ahead.